Hello, everybody. Welcome to the class. How are you tonight? I hope everything was fine. And well, it's a pleasure to be with you. So we're going to start by checking about the platform as usual. So this is the class of today. And there is no homework for tonight. And this is the question. So you can go and check into that one. Okay. Of course, we're going to check about the attendance by now. Let's see how it goes. So, Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo.
Present.
Good. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Méndez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez. Francisco Eduardo Figueroa Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas. Ileana Giselle Cañas Escobar.
Present, teacher.
Good. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda.
Present, teacher.
Good. José Marcos Rodríguez Ayala. José Osmin Rivas Navas.
Present.
Good. José Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present, teacher.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía.
Teacher.
Good. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Omaña Orellana. Roxana Yvette Asensio de Mejía. William Alexander Ramírez Flores.
Present.
Good. Jessica Yanari Cortés Díaz. Zuleima Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. And Erwin Lagos Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Very good, perfect. So welcome to the class and we're going to start. So we're going to speak about some other things different than the ones that we were speaking before. So the question is, what is motivation, my friends? In your own words.
It's something that gives you the courage or the strength to go ahead in the middle of difficult situations.
That is that little thing that pushes you out. So very good. Any other? What is motivation? Motivation, what is that?
Motivation is maybe when you set a goal and you work for that goal. Sorry, and you see the benefits or the advantage or the advance in that way to get that goal. So you motivate that you maybe will reach in maybe soon, or maybe you have to wait a little time. So it's something that you help you to trust that you will reach something.
Working toward that one, so that motivates you and you are working for that goal. Very good. Any other person? What is motivation?
Motivation could be the reason why we do something.
Very good. The reason why we do something. That is a good one, actually, because yeah, we are totally different. Sometimes what motivates us is totally different as well. So how can we motivate others?
How can we motivate others?
Maybe when, did you hear me? Yeah, no? Yes? Well, maybe when you are excited about something and the
I'm sorry?
other can maybe get some ideas to improve some task or some processes, and I think that the main way to create that environment is when, for example, in a job, when you love the job and when you are maybe working by yourself in a goal, and you get your own motivation and you can share with others and motivate others by your actions.
Teacher, your microphone is off.
Is it off, really? Okay. I was saying that it's like when you love something and then you share that feeling with other people, right? So any other, how can we motivate others? What can you do? How can
I think we always can give a word, give a hug, or give some expression that approbation, or some expression that give the courage to others to go ahead in the middle of a crisis, in the middle of a difficult situations. We can maybe sometimes only stay with them that they don't feel alone. There is a good motivation. The main motivation is that you give the time, the special time to other, and give a special words, or give share with them special feelings, because everybody in the world is under fire. Everybody is having a fight, having a difficult situations. All of the people need a word to encourage, or a word that push them to go ahead. Sometimes somebody can get motivation from the inner self, but if another people give them something special to do for him or for her, something special, they get the courage that they need to go ahead. It is important. We can do it.
Okay. Yeah, so there are many ways. I mean, you are right. Sometimes the presence, that is very important, right? Sometimes, I mean, you cannot do more than provide a word to say something, to give a hug. So things like that are the ones that definitely are things that we can do. So speaking about work, how can we motivate a team? Imagine that you have a team and you need them to reach the goals because you also need to reach the goal. How can you go and motivate them so they say, yeah, let's do it? So what can we do in that situation?
Okay, there are some things like prizes. If you are the boss, or if you are the manager, or you are in charge of that team, you can give some special prizes. You can give some special mentions. You can give them like in some companies there are the employee. I don't know, employee of the month. There are something like that. The employee of the month, and the employee have a special place where is his picture, or their picture. There are some little things sometimes, like a special parking place or something like that, and a special discount in the store, something since that can impulse them, can feel that acceptance. And in the case of a team, we can put some goals, and if you reach that goal, you can get that bonification or that prize or that mention, something that keep that going up to reach the goals.
Okay, very good, very interesting, because yeah, you mentioned different ways. I mean, for some people, it's very good to get prizes or a discount or a coupon for supermarket or for gas. And I mean, if they have a goal and then they have the motivation that you are going to be like the employee of the month, the top performer of the month, something like that, that motivates them. That is good. Any other ideas that we can use to motivate a team in the workplace, my friends?
I
Maybe
think,
when you continue.
okay. I think when they do a good work, mentioned the mention or say or tell they you are example, you are to do a good goal, a good job. You are good in something. Something I don't know, which some people there are gifts in different gifts is mention the good gifts they have.
Okay, very good. So sometimes that is shit, right? Sometimes some people, they just want that the boss come and tell you are very good. You are
Yeah.
very important for the company, and your job is very, very nice. So that is
Okay.
that is something that sometimes motivates people even better than other kind of strategies. Good. Roxana, you were going to say something.
Yeah, maybe the team is motivated when you offer a better position, and the other hand, maybe when as a leader you try to include all the opinions, because the team feeling like como que los están tomando en cuenta. How do you say?
They
Maybe
consider them.
they feel, yeah, they consider them, because mm, sometimes when you are working in a company, it's a little weird that someone asking you for some process or whatever about something, because in the maybe the whole company, those areas has a process established or goals or something like that. So it's important for me when the company always are including the rest of the team or employees about take some decision, because you try to include the others and the others feeling well about that.
Okay.
So you are not one more in the company, and that is important for some people.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you are so right. Sometimes when they consider your opinion or your job, when they feel that they are not one more employee, so that is important. And also, yeah, to have the opportunity to get a promotion, definitely that is a very good way to motivate people, because they know that if they do a very good job, there is a goal that they will achieve. They will get more benefits, better salary, or more responsibility. Sometimes people are very happy with more responsibility. Right?
But the thing is, maybe when you are working well and you don't thinking about a promotion, but someday your boss is calling you and is giving that a notice. Hey, you have a promotion the next month. So I think it's better because maybe you try to, or I think that all persons try to working well. So you are working for your salary, your goals, and something like that. And maybe you are thinking just in that, but you are not thinking in a promotion, but you receive that. So I imagine that it's, I don't know, maybe it's going well in your company, in your life, with your boss, because if you are working better all the time, sorry, and you get a promotion, you have the motivation to continue to improve. So you can share that attitude maybe when with the rest of the coworkers, and maybe they are working in the same way.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. I mean, everything motivates you when you are doing a very good job, when you um, have something, when you want to build a career, for example. So that is something that a lot of people are looking to get. So it's not only stability, because I guess nowadays is one of the main concerns whenever you have a job, but also the way that you are going to continue throughout the company, right? So maybe you want to, yeah, to be a leader there one. So that will be it. Good. Any other
There
way?
was
Go ahead.
there was a company. Sorry, there was a company. I don't know if it was IBM, something like that, that rented a stadium, and they filled the stadium with their relative, with friends, with family, and all of the employees were called by the audio of the stadium like there was an NFL play, an NFL game, and like a superstar, and all the lights over there, over then, and it was a amazing night, and it was a special event of motivation for everyone in the company. It was a memory for each of them.
Okay, very good. That is a very good idea. It's something out of the box, right? Because
Yes.
yeah, you can provide coupons and you can go and say, hey, good job. And that is like what most of the companies do. But something like that, I mean, a special night where you are the star, that is something different. And I mean, if you do something like that, definitely employees are going to be happy, they're going to be motivated, they are going to continue, they are going to tell their friends, right? Hey, you know what happened? I have this picture, this video. Definitely, if you achieve something like that, you are on the right path. And it's not easy. As we discussed, yeah, there are many ways that we can motivate people, but it's like the regular way. I mean, employees, they expect that your boss come and say, hey, your job is very good, if you are doing a good job, of course, or to tell you it's very nice, or give this piece of cake or anything like that. I mean, something very simple. But whenever you do something out of the box, definitely they are happier, right? So what other ideas would you like to experience if you get motivated? So it might now the other way around. You want to be motivated. How would you like that your boss come and tell you, hey, you are amazing, your job is very important? What would you like to have, to receive, to do?
Time off, but paid at full.
Okay, that is a good one, right? I was going to tell you something. I used to work for Convergence when it was Convergence. Now it's Concentrics. And one of the things that I did when I was a leader there, it was that one. So the best, the top performer is going to go out. Is going to go out all the afternoon, and I'm going to take your calls. Don't worry, everything will
Oh,
be
come on.
yeah.
Wow.
Once a month for one
Wow.
people only. So and they were
It
like
would be
they were
nice to
fighting.
hear that. What account you being at?
I was in Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah. No, but Microsoft is still there.
Yeah, I know it's still there. It was good experience, you know. I learned lots of things. It was actually my very first time in a call center, and it was a very
Mm.
good thing. I learned a lot. I had a lot of friends there, and it was a good thing. And I mean, Concentrics, well, it's one place like that one, right? That they give you
Mhm.
food, they give you things.
Yeah.
They try their best, but
Mhm.
I sometimes I went a little bit more, a little bit beyond.
Mhm.
And
Time off and paid at full. Wow, that's amazing.
that is good, right? Do whatever you want, and
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, because being out of the fun for agents, that was the best thing.
Yeah. It depends. If it's an inbound call, yeah. But if, for example, in my case, it's a mixed account because I am inbound but also outbound. So for me, it's okay because we don't have like a lot of incoming calls.
Ah, okay.
Sometimes we have a waiting time, about 2 or 3 hours, and we are
Oh, that's amazing.
wishing to have calls. Now, yeah, but it depends the account. But it's
I,
good to know.
yeah, yes, that is good. I mean, the position where you are actually, you are very nice there. So, and yes, I mean, as you can say, motivation is different from everybody. So,
Mhm.
what other thing would you like to hear from your boss? I mean, if they want to motivate you, what would you like to hear, to receive, or what other things would you expect?
Maybe in simple form when you receive a call and hear something like that. Hey, we have a lot of work to do, but maybe you can get next week on vacation.
Well, a week of vacation, that would be amazing. Yeah, definitely. A
Yeah,
paid.
but it's complex. It's weird when some companies try to schedule that time.
That is true. Sometimes it's not that easy. I mean, maybe ideas arise, but I mean, if you are the one that is in charge of something that is very difficult or very complex to be done, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, they give you the vacation just because they have to, right? Because even there are some companies that they say, would you like to work the vacations? I will pay you. So, and some people, because of the money, they say, yes, yes, I'm gonna come and work,
Mhm.
right? But I mean, at the end, it's not that good.
Yeah. And maybe you don't need to be the person in charge. Maybe just you don't have backup,
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
como otra persona que lo cubra,
Yeah, backup
something to
person.
cover.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's really complex because maybe you are not the leader, but you need someone to do your work. But maybe it's a little motivation, but it's necessary.
Yeah, yeah. To be honest with you, motivation is necessary at all levels. I mean, everybody needs motivation. That is for sure. And maybe some companies or some leaders they forget about that one a little bit, but we never
Mm,
have to forget about that one. At least once a month, a meeting or something, right? Something special. So it has to be done. Okay. And what other motivation strategy can we have with people?
Uh,
So
I I like to read a lot, and one of my boss in the past, one day took me to the library
Mhm.
and told me, pick the book you want, whatever, pick the book you want on whole the library, one or two books. And wow, it's something very special for me because there was book that I can buy because the price. And in that case, I can have. I remember that I have three books
People, right.
that night was special time for me. Very motivating for me.
Very good. So that is special. I mean, can you tell? I mean, you still remember that as a very good moment. So that was something very good. And I believe also that whenever you want to motivate people, you need to know them, right? Because you need to know
Yes.
what kind of people you are and what motivates you. So they go and do something special for you, not something generic like the top performer, right? You are the top performer and you're special and go home and I hope to see you next month. I mean, that is good. It's good because it's motivation. You will have maybe a free lunch or something like that. But when they do something like that, that is special just for you, that is a different level. So that is a second thing. I mean, we have checked two different things that are out of the box. The first one is the one that we were telling, like special thing, like wow, the player that you said. And the other one is when they give you something that is just for you because you like this a lot. It can be something simple. I mean, it doesn't have to be something very expensive, but just for you. It's because you really liked it. So that is something important as well. Nice. Good, perfect. Any other strategy, any other thing that you will implement with people to motivate them? Nothing else. Okay, now, sometimes it's even more difficult because yes, you are able to motivate people. So for example, what do you do when you need to motivate a person that has an attitude that is angry, that is rebellious, that is like always late, they don't do what they have to do, and you would really like to that person to you see potential in that person. So what would you do in that kind of situation?
It's a very difficult situation.
I know. So what would you do?
Maybe as a leader, you can talk with that person and try to understand what happened. So I think that some employees uh, feeling feeling bad, yeah, because they don't have they don't have a comfortable environment, and sometimes it's because they have a boss, not a leader, and the rest of the team feeling in the same way. So the difference is between all people feeling bad, but someone try to show more than the other. So it's like maybe that person has not inteligencia emocional, maybe,
Yeah, emotional intelligence.
but yeah, but in the first time, maybe as a leader, we need to talk and try to understand what happened. Maybe that person has a problem in his house, in his family, or problem in with his or her work and something like that. And maybe if you have the knowledge about that situation, you can decide in what form or in what way you try, you can work with that person, but you can generalize, no, usted no puede generalizar, you can't generalize, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can't generalize. You try in the first time, try to understand what happened and making decision about it. If you heard that person, maybe you can find a way to motivate. Maybe imagine if that person has a sick relative, ill relative or sick.
It might be both, sick or ill.
Okay, or maybe that person was working in maybe extra time and he or she is tired. Maybe they or yeah, they need some days to taking to resting, and I don't know, maybe the first time for me is try to understand what happened with that person, and before or after, sorry, making decision about it.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that is what you need to do, right? You need to sit down with that person and listen first, right? Um, the problem might be if he or she is not confident, if that person doesn't want to tell you. But if you are a good leader, you will come to a time that they can tell you anything, right? So, and then you will be able to understand the situation. Might be many ways. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
might be that they have some problems, economical problems, or that they have somebody that is
Mhm.
sick, or sometimes relationship. I mean, a person that is getting through a divorce or a split
Mhm.
with a couple. Sometimes, I mean, we are different. Some people might say, no, we are going to get over it, but some other people cannot. I mean, they sometimes get stuck in a moment. So that is very important to understand, and then based on that one, well, motivate, right? So very good.
I think that sometimes the people that have this type of behavior, they feel misunderstood, and if you uh, listen then and give something of the control, what can what do you suggest to do with you? If you come late, what can we do? We let you go late in the afternoon too, or what we can do in that this person can say something how the problem can be solved according to his point of view, maybe. And in this situation, maybe there's they feel understood and can do something better in his behavior in the company.
Very good. So that is true. And you are so right. Sometimes there are misunderstandings. Sometimes we as leaders or the company, we are not able to identify that one until it's too late. So we need to stop and speak with them, because sometimes they will come with you and they will tell you, no, you did this 1 year ago and I'm not happy about that one. And you are like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that I did that one right. Or I didn't know that that was not good for you. So, but if you have the chance to speak out about the situation, definitely you will have a chance. You will have a chance to recover that employee, and then to get all the potential from he or she. So, and that happens. That happens a lot. Sometimes the company, they believe, or employees believe, that they don't care. They didn't see what we did, or they didn't notice something, right? So, and we were there, and I mean, maybe they gave the position to other people, and that's it, right? So, and but yeah, speaking is always the best approach. Maybe the main problem is if the person is, I mean, if they don't want to trust in you and tell you what's going on, then you have a problem, right? But then you have to identify that. Maybe you need to change the leadership that you have with that, at least with that person, right? Good, perfect. Any other comment on this? Okay, so we're gonna check a video about motivation, definitely. So let's see this one, and then you are gonna tell me what you understood about this one. Here we go.
If you want to change your life, my friends, you got to change your physiology and you got to change your focus.
When you're trying to get wealthy, you want to go all in and it not be a bet. You need to know the space so well that you're like, I know for sure this is going to work.
You can't have a standard education and expect to have an extraordinary life. It's not going to happen. The one breakthrough for all leaders is constant, never-ending improvement. And that means educating yourself and continuing to develop even greater emotional mastery, because that's what affects whether you execute or not. The opportunity for self-education is there. We have to change our psychology from, I'm going to do what everybody else does, and I'm mad because it doesn't work anymore, to the reality is this is the greatest time to be alive if you're growing, you're learning, you're educating, and you're developing valuable skills. So instead of complaining, you got to say, where are the skill sets valued in the marketplace? And how do I work harder on myself than anything else? Because if I become more valuable, then I will be able to give more, do more, and change more. When I interviewed Warren Buffett, I asked the most important investment he ever made in his life. You know what he said it was? I was thinking all the companies he'd done, He said, Tony, going to Dale Carnegie. I said, what? He goes, because by developing myself, that's the most important investment. Those skill sets, learning how to persuade, learning how to speak, learning how to influence, all my ideas would have died on my lips if I hadn't been able to influence, and I learned it from that little course. Most valuable thing I ever did in my life, he said.
Think of this for a moment. Do you know that every living soul gets exactly the same amount of time? Exactly the same amount of time. Figure it out. You can manage your activities. Make certain that what you're doing really makes a difference. Make certain that you're spending your time on activities that are productive, that are taking you in the direction of your goal.
The traits that make you strange are the gifts that make you special. It's the very things that make you different that make you authentic. And if you don't fit in, I just want to share with you, I've never fit in. And the very nature of anyone who's living a visionary life.
There's a popular quote going around at the moment. The person you will be in 5 years is based on the books you read and the people you hang around with today. This is quite true, but it applies to everything else as well. The person you will be in the future is based on everything you do today, the people you hang around with, but more so the people you listen to, the opinions you believe, the books you read, or the videos you watch. All the information you take in, positive or negative, will affect your future. The workouts you do or don't do, that will show up in the future. The foods you eat today will affect your future on a visual and energy level. The same is true with your thoughts and information. What you feed your mind will shape your future. If all you do is take in garbage, guess what your future is going to be made up of? Commit to feed your mind with successful thoughts and surround yourself with those who have the same ambition. It doesn't matter where you get your information from. You may read, you may get it from podcasts or videos. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you keep feeding your mind every day. Your future self is begging you to show some discipline. Your future self is begging you not to be like the rest, to learn more than the rest, to work harder and smarter than the rest. Your future self is begging you to do the work now so you can enjoy later. If you don't feed your mind with success, it will rot with mediocrity. What you do every day will dictate your future. What you want out of life, you must put it in. If you want success, put it in there. If you want health and fitness, put it in. If you want peace and happiness, put it in. Your actions will equal your results.
My mind is strong. I am strong. My thoughts are strong. My beliefs are strong. My life is strong. They say I can't. I can. They say I won't. I will. They say I'm not. I am. I am limitless. I am. I am. There's nothing I cannot be. Nothing I cannot do. Nothing I cannot have. In my mind, there are no limits. I am limitless. There's nothing I cannot be. Nothing I cannot do. Nothing I cannot have. There exists no limits in my mind. There's something inside of us that wants to make things better. We want to be better as people. We want to become more, do more, share more, create more, give more. But, you know, it's not quite what really works for us because we want all these things we think are going to make us happy, want to grow and contribute. But then what happens is everybody wants a great body, but nobody wants to work out, right? You know, what you gotta understand is that progress equals happiness. If you know what you want and you can make consistent progress, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get to where you really wanna be, where that sense of passion, aliveness, the results you want really do occur. Step one, remember, a compelling vision. What do you truly want? What excites you? It needs to be specific and measurable, and most importantly, it's gotta get your energy going. 2, you need strong enough reasons to follow through when the tough situations show up, a purpose that drives you. 3, you need that massive action plan, that map, a core action list that helps you close the gap from where you are, where you want to be, and you need to know the 20% is going to make most of the progress. And finally, step 4, what do you want to become? What do you want to do? What do you want to experience? What do you want to contribute? What do you want to give? What do you want to master? So what do you want this year to be about? What do you really desire most? What do you want to contribute this year? What's going to be your map? And what are the rituals that are gonna make it real? Please, for your benefit, don't just watch this video, do something right at the end here to get you going and get you some initial momentum. If you take action today, you can get anything changed, but you gotta do it while you're in state.
And I'm saying that if you know anybody that had some goal, some dream, something they wanted to do, and they did it, then I'm saying that you know in your heart that if someone has done it, then you can do it, it's possible. And that if someone can make their dream become a reality, that it's possible that you can make your dream become reality. And so as you begin to look at where you want to go, beginning to embrace that, it's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, the things can get better for me. It's possible. I'm thinking about 2 men right here in Chicago who were fairly successful, similar background, educated. They worked for a corporation for many years, and they were among many people that were laid off. 2 guys who were very good friends. One went out looking for a job for several weeks along with the other one, and they faced disappointment and rejection again and again and again. They couldn't find any work, which is the story of many people across this country. One guy stopped. He became discouraged. He stopped going. He stayed home looking at television, became very argumentative and toxic with his wife, drinking beer, getting on the phone, talking to his other negative, unemployed friends. And he just gave up. The other guy kept looking for a job everywhere he could go. Every time he could get an opportunity, kept asking people, networking, checking the newspapers every day. Kept going everywhere he could, trying to find a job. You have too much education. You're overqualified. You won't be here long enough. He kept going. He kept going. He went to a place and said, look here, I tell you what, if you can't hire me, and I know you can use my talents, abilities, and skills, I don't want to sit home and do nothing. Just let me do some volunteer work. You don't have to give me anything, all right? I just want to work. I want to be busy. Guy said, okay, it's on you now, but don't expect me to give you anything. It's okay. This guy came in and worked. He was the first one there. The last one to leave was the best employee there. About 4 weeks later, one of the top managers quit. They were looking for a replacement. Guess who they selected? This other guy. This guy who was volunteering his time. He got the job. What was the difference between the two men? Eyesight and mindsight. Eyesight is judging on what you see. Judging according to appearances. But mindsight is how you interpret what you see. One guy said, it's not possible, it's over, I'm finished. I can't do it. I can't make it. He surrendered. I've faced rejection again and again. I'm not going anymore. There are no jobs out there. But this other guy, he felt that in spite of the no's and rejections, in spite of how bad the economy is, in spite of what the newspapers are saying, that it's possible that somebody somewhere will give me a job. He just kept going, thinking it was possible. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we have to do with our dreams. Because things happen to you in life that you can never, ever anticipate. And many times when those things happen, you want to give up.
Okay, what did you get about the video?
My goodness, motivational bullets. The attraction law. I've seen kind of these videos, but with images, and you need to reprogram and reorganize what you've been raised. You sometimes what you believe was the right things to do things because we've been taught in that way. And I love two definitions I saw in this video. One is what is the eyesight and the other is the man side. And the eyesight, he said there were different speakers, right? It was like a different parts of speakers. There were speeches from different people, as I understood. Yeah. But I didn't knew that the eyesight is what you see. But the mind side is how you interpret what you see. Love it. Take it from me right from now. Beautiful. I felt like a bullet of motivational things, phrases. Come on, it's like coffee with energizer and a lot of sugar. No, without sugar, but strong coffee.
Okay,
Beautiful.
good. Perfect. Very nice that you liked it and that you are familiar with this kind of things. So very good. Any other comments or opinion on the video?
Okay, very impressive, very important. And this type of video we need to hear, we need to see it many times. One important thing is whatever you feed your mind will shape your future. There is an important sentence in the video. Whatever you feed your mind will shape your future. Tomorrow you will be the books you read, the people you hang around, and it is important. It is important. A wise man 2,000 years ago said that we are what we do every day. We are what we do every day. In that case, the excellence is not an event, it's an habit, because we are what we do every day, and it's important.
Very good. So that is true. I mean, yeah, you are exactly what you do, right? I mean, you are feeding not only your body. I mean, yeah, the food is very important, and of course, it's also important what you eat. But everything that you do, if you are surrounded by negativity, of course, it's going to impact your life. If you are working very hard or learning new things, definitely it's going to impact your life. Very nice. Good. Any other comments or video on the video?
I think believe it yourself is so important when you decide to do something. Believe in your skill. Sometimes it's difficult, but you have to do that to receive a good result about that.
Very good. So that is very important to believe in yourself, to know what are your skills and what can you achieve. Actually, everybody can achieve anything, anything at all. So I have seen that many times, to be honest with you. I mean, I have students that they are working on the same place for 10, 20 years, and there are other people that they are in France, for example, working in a very nice company and being happy. What is the difference? What they did, the actions that they took, right? And of course, what you want to do. If you don't want to go to France, not a problem. But if you really want to, I mean, to move out, I have seen that. I have seen that there are people that they don't like the country, they want to go out of this country, and they, if they work and if they research and they do what they have to do, at the end they live in other countries. I'm happy here, to be honest, but there are people that not, and that depends on what you want to do with your life, right? So that is it. Good. Any other comment about the video or anything that you have seen that took your attention?
Well, my point of view is that you need to believe in you, but it's important to be constant, because the video was talking about that all the activities that you are doing right now in the present will be an impact in the future. So for example, if you are working in the boring company or boring place, and you just say that you have or you need to be a little change, what are you doing for change that situation? Maybe you have to study another thing, or try to, I don't know, take some extra courses or something like that. So it's important believe in you. I believe in me, but if I don't do anything to change my current situation, in the future it will be the same.
Okay.
That is.
Very good, perfect. So you are so right. I mean, yeah, the very first step is, yeah, I believe in myself, I can do it. But then you have to take actions, right? You need to change your life. You need to change things that you want. I mean, if you set a goal in your life, then you have to check a diagnosis where you are and where you want to go. And then what steps do you need to take so you can go there to that, achieve that goal, right? So definitely. And as I was telling you before, I believe that you are doing actually that one. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to work hard. I know that for some of you it's more difficult than from other people. I mean, some of you finish at 4 and get home and have dinner. Some of you finish at 8 and you are driving home listening to the class. So all the experiences are different. But yeah, you have seen, I know that you know that there are many people that started the English classes with you a long time ago and they're not here. So that means that for first of all, you took the very first step to change your life, to take the classes, for example, in this case, but then to stay and continue. That is something that almost nobody does. I mean, it's like the university, right? At the university, I sometimes teach at the university, and sometimes we get new students, like 400 new students, 400. And from those 400 students, we graduate sometimes 10 people. Imagine that. That is a huge difference. The percentage is very, very low. And it's just because some people, they really want to achieve the goal. The other ones, they got married, they changed the career, they didn't continue studying because of many reasons. Not all of them finish. So the same happens to you. You are here, which is very good. But there are people that also within the same course, they are in a different level. I know that some of you are busy, that you're working at this time, and sometimes you are not able to speak, right? But sometimes you have the chance to speak, but you don't speak. So even here within the same class, we are in different levels, right? Sometimes there is open microphone and nobody talks, and then you say, I need to improve my English speaking. Okay, so you need to speak, right? So
Yes.
there are many steps. It's not just one step. There are many actions that we need to take in consideration. For example, in English, yeah, you need to practice more by yourself. If something is complicated, that is the thing that you need to practice more, to sit down and do that. That's why we do sometimes the tests, and we are going to continue doing the tests so we can identify what you need to do. And this is just like the door. I show you the door and you need to cross the path, right? So that will be it. But what I'm trying to tell you is that, yeah, you're really doing something for your life. So you're really fighting to become a better person because of many reasons. Because there are many objectives, different objectives that you have, and I know has been difficult. The trip has been difficult. To be here tonight is difficult. We're tired, right? And I mean, I have my regular job, and then I'm here in classes, and the same to you. You are tired. Sometimes you're sleepy, but if you continue doing at the end, you're gonna make it, right? You're going to achieve what you want, and that is the most important thing.
That is the main idea.
That is the main idea. That is the goal. And I hope to see you once in another country by traveling and speaking English very fluent. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so 1 hour has finished already, and now we need to check the attendance, my friends. So after this, we are going to continue speaking because today is a speaking class. Let's see. Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo. Good. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Mendez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas.
Present, teacher.
Good. Iriana Giselle Cañas Escobar. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda.
I'm here.
Present, teacher.
Okay. José Marcos Rodríguez Ayala. José Osmin Rivas Navas.
Present, teacher.
Good. José Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Umaña Orellana. Roxana Yvette Asensio de Mejía.
Present.
Good. William Alexander Ramírez Flores.
Present.
Good. Jessica Janari Cortés Díaz.
I'm here.
Okay. Zuleima Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. Erwin Lagos Andrade. Very well. So let's continue speaking then. We're speaking about motivation, how to motivate other people and things like that. And now we come to maybe the most difficult part. I mean, yes, you can motivate other people. Yes, there are people that is difficult to motivate or that they are in a crisis or something like that. But what happens when you need to motivate yourself? When you are in a crisis, when you feel down in the dumps, how do you motivate yourself?
Well, in my case, to be honest with you, when I feel really, really bad, I try to looking for a podcast about motivation or a podcast about Dante Gebel. Do you know who is him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I try to get energy because it's really complex. But on the other hand, I try to do in some list about priorities and pendings or something like that, and try to organize my mind and check the last or the previous list and try to working in something like that, because it's important when you create your own feedback. So you need to receive a feedback for others, but sometimes you need to review your life and this, and maybe yeah, improve by yourself, because everything that you're doing right now is for you. So there is your family, your son, and your love, and whatever. But it's important when you try to clarify your mind. And in my case, I try to prepare a list and try to organize my mind and separate the things that maybe I can't work because it's impossible for me, and prepare another list, and check the thing that is possible for me and work better on that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a very good strategy. So look for something that really hits you and gives you the energy that you would like to have and change your mood. So that is a very good thing.
Yeah, because maybe you feel bad in another time, but you forget some important thing. And that's why I think it's important when you check your previous list and keep some maybe not a new ideas, just remember important things, and you forgot it.
Okay, that is interesting. Remember where you want to go. That's good. Okay, what about the other people? What do you do to motivate yourself?
Okay, it is important that you have a place to rest. You need rest not only physically, but spirituality or emotionally. You need a place you can pray. Not only Christian pray, there are many religions that pray. Pray is a good resource for the soul, for the spirit. You need to have friends that give energy to you. There are people that took energy for you, and there are people that give you energy. You feel good, you feel encouraged, you feel fulfilled with them, and you need this kind of rest, because not always see the you need to rest about the physical activities, but you need to do something different in your mind, to do something different that focus on different things, not the things that giving you troubles, but the things that giving you peace, that giving you rest, that giving you encouragement. Very important. You need to put apart, to go apart of the all of the sins, to stop the war and go out and take rest, and then feel energized and go back to the road.
Very good. So yeah, actually that is very important as well. I mean, whenever any situation that you are passing through, it's like when you're working and you are stressed out, you need to stop, and then you need to get out of everything, relax a moment. In the most difficult crisis where we need to be more calmed, right? We need to be there and see the whole thing and relax and try to try to find a way again. So you are going to. There are no problems that cannot be solved. I know that there are problems that are very difficult. Sometimes there are things that are a matter of life and death. But I mean, at the end, that is going to happen to everybody, and we need to find a way, right? So it's difficult, but we need to find a way. Good, perfect. Any other resource, any other strategy that you use to motivate yourself? What do you do to motivate yourself?
Sure.
Okay.
After that, the opinion of my classmate, I feel that other thing that we can do is motivate with music. Me, for example, when I need motivation, I review some points, like I don't know, my balance and the reason why I need to do something, and other aspect is, and I don't know, maybe Rocky Balboa's "Them" or "Man in the Mirror" of Michael Jackson are very motivation. Some stuff is one aspect, but that is not enough. But sometimes are helpful.
Very good. That actually helps. Actually, myself, I do that myself too, because I really love music, and sometimes you need to get loaded, right, with energy, and that is one of the easiest way that you can find like the energy that you need. I mean, you want to feel very nice, and then you can do it. Maybe we need to be careful because sometimes the opposite happens. I mean, if you are like that, like sad, and you get some sad music, well, then it's worse, right? So then that depends on you, on what you want to feel.
Teacher,
Uh-huh.
well, I think each person is different from the other. So what it motivates me, maybe won't motivate you, right? In my case, my motivation is the well-being of my kids and their happiness and if they're healthy, right? And for me, the authentic motivation must come from the inside, because if you're expecting someone else to motivate you, it might not happen, right? So it is important for everyone to be motivated, but self-motivated.
Very good. So yes, actually that is true. I mean, sometimes nobody can help you, right? I mean, nobody can motivate you, and you need to stop and think and try to solve kind of situations. But then you say something that is very important. We are all different. So the same that happens whenever you are going to motivate other people is the same that happens to you. That means that, yeah, you need to know the other person, to understand the other person, and then motivate, provides the right motivation. The same happens to you. So you need to know yourself. That is a must. And sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult because you cannot see your mistakes or things that you need to improve. Sometimes that happens. But then whenever you get to know yourself, you will be able not only to motivate yourself, but also to be a better person, right? To learn from your mistakes, for the things that you do correctly, for everything that is going to be around your life is going to help you build the better myself, right? Good. Any other strategy or comment on this? On how to motivate yourself?
Maybe another form to motivate by yourself is when you taking a little rest and have a day off, but your activities, maybe if you enjoy go to the beach and see the sunset, for example, and you always are working or in your house or in a company, it's maybe we need to spend time in basic activities because it's necessary, and it's important when maybe you have responsibilities and you need to pay your things, but it's important that at the same time maybe get some money and try to invest in your maybe in food or in a travel, or I don't know, maybe in basic things, because you always are like a robot and you need to get a breath, como un respiro, yeah, breath.
A breath,
Breath. And I imagine that is another way to try to motivate you, because you really need to do that. You are not a robot. What or robot? What?
Robot, yeah.
Robot, yeah. And you need to give a space in a day or in your salary or and things like that.
Okay, so that is true. Sometimes, yeah, you need to invest on yourself and entertain yourself, right? To forget about life for a while. So to do things that you really enjoy, right? Because as Heidi said, we're different, and I mean, some people they really love to go to the beach or it's close, or to the lake, to the mountains to relax. Sometimes at home, I mean, you can get into the bathtub and get some music and some smelling things. So it's going to be very relaxing, very good. So depending on the situation, on what you have, that is another thing that you can motivate, relax for a while, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Roxanne. Any other?
So, teacher.
Okay.
I think I agree with you, teacher. Then to say the depend the situation, because for example, if you have a bad day in the work, for example, in my case, I try to rest a little bit. For example, if, can take a nap, for example, 30 minutes. When I come to home, for me, I felt that like a recharge, recargar, recharge,
Recharge or reload.
recharge energy. And well, in my case, my best motivate, I think, is my family. And take a little nap and thinking in my family for me are the best motivate for continue teacher.
Okay. Very good. So that is true. So sometimes you need something for you to get again the energy. Sometimes, I mean, that happens for everybody. Sometimes we feel like demotivated, even when you're doing the things right. Sometimes you feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's gonna happen, right? So you need to disconnect from the world and you need to do some activities so you can be again that person that you really are, right? Good. Okay, we're gonna check a video. This is a good one, so let's see how it goes. Of course, after the video, you are gonna provide some comments and or opinions. Here we go.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Okay, what did you get on this one? What opinions or comments do you have?
There is an important way of thinking. This was the slogan of Steve Jobs, think different. And the singers enough crazy to think that they can change the world are the ones to do it. That is important because many of the bad situations or the crisis in the life is because we want to be like the other people. We like to be, or we want to be like the others. And it is not possible. We need to be ourselves. And in this situation, maybe we can seems crazy for others, but we need to be ourselves. This is the only way to live the life. We need to be ourselves. That is important, I think.
Very good, perfect. So, yeah, you need to get to know you and then be who you are, right? So, it's difficult sometimes in the world because since we're kids, we are taught to do things, to be things. And yes, in the middle of all those things, because those things are important. I mean, since you're a kid, you are getting trained to have a job and to be part of the system, which is important because I mean, you want things, right? But then in the middle of that, within all these things, you need to continue being yourself, right? And that is the difficult part. Good. Any other comments on the video? No more?
I think nobody teaches you to be yourself. It is difficult. Everybody teaches you the educational system. I am a teacher. I know the educational system. I know that we, as a teacher, we want all the kids think in the same way. All the kids do the problems. All the kids do the subject in the same way. And it's not possible. And we need to be careful to give the opportunity to be the guy, the John to be as they need to be. And sometimes we don't have the time. We are boring, we are frustrated, and we don't have the time to give this chance, this choice to the students of the teenagers. And in house is difficult too, because the father are busy, the father are in their own ways, in their own situations, and they don't have the time to teach the young to be themselves. Very difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult because as you say, I mean, education is like that one. I mean, it's good because you need to know about the rivers and the world. And I mean, you need to understand things. I mean, imagine those guys that they say right now that the planet is flat. I mean, it's like you didn't go to school or something. But anyways, there are many things that are important, but within that one, I believe that is also very important for parents to to push in that direction. I mean, maybe teachers is more the educational part. You need to summarize, you need to multiply, but being yourself, look what you want. What do you would like? What would you like to do? I mean, that is important, and that happens. Yesterday, I was telling you the example of what my friend that she was at the university, and then in the 4th year, she changed the career, right? So, I mean, she didn't have any guidance. Maybe his parents, they say, go to university, we'll pay you. But we need more than that one, right? We need to sit down with not only with kids, with everybody and ask, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Where do you want to go? I was telling you, I mean, I really love El Salvador. I mean, yes, maybe I can go right now. Actually, like a week ago, somebody told me, "Why don't you go to the program? I can show you the way for you to go and work in Canada." I'm happy here. I don't want to go there. But some other people might say, "No, I really want to go. Goodbye to El Salvador," right? So um, everybody's different, but we need to first of all get to know ourselves and then help other people to get to know themselves.
Yes.
Right? That is the important thing about life is very short, and we need to take advantage of it. Any other
Yes.
comments? Philosophy tonight, only here in English.
You need to know yourself, say the Confucianists. You need to know yourself and then you know the world.
That is it. Yeah. You need to know your skills, for example. Huh?
Teacher Osho.
Yeah. Good. And yeah, I mean, even the skills, I mean, I'm very good with languages. I'm very good with many things, but I'm very bad with directions, you know. So everybody has something that you are very good at and some other things that you're not good. And that's part of life. So you need to um to get all the potential from the things that you are very good at and then work with the ones that you are not that good. That's the way it is.
I was born without GPS teaching.
Oh man,
I
I am
lost.
not good.
I lost in my own house.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I'm not good at that thing, to be honest. I'm always yeah, actually I nowadays I can't live without the GPS whenever I go into a place that I don't know. So the problem is that sometimes the map is not working properly. Okay, so let's move to another thing then. What is success, my friends?
What is success?
Maybe
Wow.
when you get your goals,
Okay, when you set your
you
goals,
feel
go ahead, please.
when you feel that maybe you are in the hill, yeah, como que estás en las alturas. That's the main
You are in the right
idea.
level, something like that.
Yeah, maybe you feel really, really good.
Okay, interesting. Very good. So when you get some goals achieved, that's good, perfect. Any other idea on what success is? On your own words, of course.
I work with kids from 8th grade for middle school to high school. And the first things that I asked to them to write in her notebooks and her copybook is I was look for reasons to succeed and not for excuses to failure. I will look for because the success not need an explication, not need an explanation. Is you need to give an explanation because you are in a failure. If you are doing the things in the wrong way. But I think that success is an inner feeling more than doing something out of you. It's an inner feeling. There are some people that are happy living in mountains. There are people that are happy living in the middle of the city. There are people that are happy working in a big company. There are people that are happy to working in a very small company. It's an inner feeling, and if you look outside, you never reach. But if you look inside, you will be success every day.
Okay, very good. So that is interesting. It's an inner feeling. It's something different for everybody. And
Yes.
then, yeah, everybody's looking for something, right? I mean, I remember that in a class, I guess in the first model that I was with you, I was asking you what is the meaning of life, right? And well, it's different for everybody. I mean, it's not that there is like a recipe, right? It's like this and like this and like this. Maybe some people get confused. Maybe some people believe that having a really big house and a lot of cars is the success. Of course, that is good. I mean, if you have the chance in life, why not, right? It's kind of dangerous as well because sometimes you get lost. I mean, sometimes that kind of people, they do not have real friends or somebody that loves them because who they are. Sometimes it's difficult. This world is difficult for everybody. Imagine in that situation when you have a lot of money, and I mean, I believe it should be difficult. To be honest with you, I didn't want that one. It's something that, I mean, having enough to buy my things, to save money, and then live my
Yes.
life. That is
Pay
it.
the bills.
Yeah, that is it. Pay the bills, relax a little bit, sometimes go out with my friends or with my family. That's me, right? Of course.
Yes.
Everybody is different. So now again, what is success? Now maybe the question is, what is success for you? What would you like to achieve in life? Now we're getting there. Uh-huh.
Sorry, what is the question, teachers?
The question is, what is success for you? What would you like to achieve in your life?
Yes. Well, every person has different definition of success, right? So for me, my success is be able to provide my family the all things that they need, and like I have a friend that um, that sorry, olvidé la palabra. Asked me that when I would like to die, and my answer always is that I think that in the future I only need enough years to provide my son until their majority of age. I don't know how to say that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and I really want to see when they will be able to provide themselves. And after that, my time is like my work is done, and the time after that is a profit for me. So maybe it will be a definition of success for me. Reach then.
Okay, very good. So that is interesting. Yeah, and that's actually is a very good thing to have enough time for you to provide to your family and see them happy. I believe that is amazing. Very good. Any other person wants to share? What is success? What would you like to achieve in life?
This guy, Abraham Maslow, make a pyramid of needs. And in the different situations, you are in a a crisis is you need to do with your physiological needs. This was happiness, it was success. You can do that. And as you go up and you go more in the next step is the safety needs, and then social needs, then esteem needs, then self actualization, and it all depends. It all depends the situation, the country, the condition that you are living. That will making the definition of what is success for you. If you are young, there are a different definition. If you are in the middle age, and you are in the senior life, there are different definitions depending of in what stage of your life you are and what is your normal situations.
Very good. That is true. So that is actually very accurate. So I'm telling you, for example, right now, I don't want to have a lot of money, but I just need enough money. But I don't know what will happen in 10 years, right? Maybe in 10 years, my perspective might be different. The world has been changing a lot, and we need to adapt to new technologies, new needs. For example, in the past, nobody needed internet, right? Now, we cannot live without internet. So what is going to happen in the future? I mean, the pandemic was something that hit us a lot. And maybe before that one, we never thought that we were going to experience that kind of things. And for some families, for some people, the experience was more difficult because they lost somebody. For others, we are here. I mean, for me, it was very good because I'm working from home and I'm very happy about that one. I never experienced something like that, but I know that it was a negative impact. So we're moving on with the world, and what is success, for example, might be different in the future. Maybe to be successful in the future is to have water. I mean, or to have energy. I mean, maybe it's going to be so expensive right now. It's very expensive, and maybe it's going to be very difficult in the future to have energy. Maybe you need to produce your own energy by yourself. Many things might change for the future. And economy, I mean, we are in 2022, and economy is a disaster. I mean, uh, and it's happening around the world. We see how we also explored that before, that everything that happens in the other side of the world affects us. I mean, that happens in the pandemic, we say, right? Somebody ate a bat there in China, and then here we are. I mean, very sick, right? So the world is changing, and yeah, the the stage of your life where you are definitely is going to present you different needs, different things that you would like to have. Yeah, it's like people when they say I would like to die, right? But if something comes and they are about to die, they don't want to die. I mean, it was just a saying, right? So that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Very good, perfect. Let's check another video, my friends. This is about what we're discussing right now. And here we go. And of course, you're going to tell me the opinions or comments at the end of this.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Can you imagine if you spent 20 years of your life trying to be a success, trying to really be someone, and you really have this bold ambition to reach the moon? But then, when you actually become that someone, you realize the person that you've become is not what you want to be at all. I grew up in a small country town in a place called Shepparton, which was about 200 kilometers north of Melbourne in the southeast of Australia. And I had 6 brothers and sisters, and there they are, most of them. And all of those brothers and sisters I had left school by the time they were 15. And they didn't leave school at 15 because they wanted to leave school. They left school because it was a necessity. Because when we were growing up, it was really tough to make ends meet. And although I grew up with a lot of hardship, as a kid, I also grew up with a big dream. And that dream was to become a professional cyclist. And I started racing BMX when I was 9 years old. And by the time I was 16, I'd progressed to the velodrome and then onto the road. And the year that this photo was taken, which was 1987, that's me on the left, I had qualified with my friend and training partner, Stuart Mackenzie, to race the Australian Championships. So I was one of the best riders, I guess, of my generation. I worked really hard to get there. You know, as a kid, cycling was my life. But I never forget, I guess, from the age of around 15, something started to happen. And I guess the first sign of that was my interview with my careers advisor at school when I was about 15. And I met with my career advisor and she said, "Jamie, what do you want to be?" And I said, "I want to be Greg LeMond." And of course she said, "Greg LeWho?" And I explained that my dream was to become a professional cyclist. And this conversation went on for a while, but I never forget the words that I left her, that she left me with. She said, "Jamie, maybe it's time to be realistic." You see, because the other thing I was, besides being a good cyclist, was actually I was a pretty smart kid. And I did very well at school. And in fact, not too much after I raced the Australian Championships, I sat my end of school exams. And I did very well. And in fact, I did so well that I was offered a grant to study at the University of Melbourne. And the University of Melbourne is one of Australia's best places of higher education. And I remember getting this letter from the university and lying in my bed on a Sunday night and just looking at it and thinking, I don't want to do this. But of course, I also had a huge weight of expectation because it wasn't just my careers teacher, it was all of my teachers. It were many of my friends, and the message they were telling me was that, Jamie, cycling is just a dream. And dreams rarely pay the bills, and dreams rarely take you places. And I started to feel this real anxiety. And what I started to think about was this choice of what am I going to do? But what I also started to realize was that actually maybe I didn't have a choice at all. And I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying, but because of the environment that I'd grown up in on this housing commission estate, I knew almost no kids who had gone on to university. There were maybe 400 or 500 kids in the neighborhood where I grew up. There were only 1 or 2 of them who had gone to university. None of my brothers and sisters had had that chance. So I started to feel that actually, you know what, I don't have a choice at all. And a few weeks before my 18th birthday, I moved to Melbourne. And I started university, and I said goodbye to my European dream. And what did I do for the next 20 years? Well, for the next 20 years, I worked really hard. Because, you know, one of the things I learned as a young, ambitious sportsman was that it was about discipline, it was about focus. So I worked really, really hard. And there was another reason I worked hard, because when I went to Melbourne University and I looked around, there was maybe 1 in 10 kids who were like me. You know, most of those kids were from private schools and privileged backgrounds, and do you know what? I hated those kids. Yeah, and I wanted to be better than them. Now, I didn't quite know what I wanted to be, though, because, you know, I grew up in a neighborhood where everyone was a blue-collar worker. So I looked around at university, and I looked at the guys, who's making money? And the guys I saw were these professors, actually. They didn't dress like the other professors. They wore suits and ties, and they drove fancy cars, and they made a lot of money. And those professors were the business school professors. So I said, I'm going to be one of them. So I worked really hard. So after my undergraduate scholarship, I went on and I got a graduate scholarship. And in fact, by the time I was 29 years old, it took me 10 years, I was working at one of the top graduate management schools in the world. I was living in London. And what did I do when I got to London? I worked really hard. And in fact, for 10 years, I got promoted, I got encouraged. And this is what happens. You know, when you're a high performer, when you're an achiever, the doors open in front of you. So I kept working. And by the time I was 39 years old, I was there. I published in the world's top journals. I was working at one of the best business schools in the world. I was traveling the world. I was making more money than I ever imagined would be possible in my life. And I was also desperately unhappy. And in fact, that's who I was. And I'm not sure, you know, what you see in this face, but what I saw in the mirror every single day was tiredness. Because I was really tired. I'd been working and working. This took a long time. This was 20 years as a journey. And I'd worked and I'd worked, and I'd you know, put sleep aside, and I'd put hobbies aside, and I'd worked really hard to get there. So I was tired. And do you know what else I was? I was arrogant. Because to survive in that environment, that egotistical, hierarchical environment, I'd become a bit of an asshole. Because you have to be, right? You have to be, you know, sometimes in these environments. So that's what I'd become. So I was tired, you know, I was arrogant, and I was unhealthy. You know, here's a guy who'd been a sportsman. It's not like I was really fat, but I was soft. I was all soft, you know, and the other thing, though, the other thing was that I wasn't alone anymore. You know, I'd been on this journey for 20 years, but actually along the way, I'd met a wonderful woman. We got married, and by this time, I had 3 children. And although I was this big success in my career, I wasn't a good husband, and I wasn't being a good father because I was so obsessed with this thing that I thought was success. And there's a wonderful quote by Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher. And Lao Tzu says, if you keep heading in the same direction, you're likely to get where you are going. And the fact was, I didn't like where I was going. But there was a problem, because I also had to realize that, you know, for this 20 years that I've been this high achiever, this high performer, everyone's been telling me it's about you. It's about your success and about what you can do with your life. And you know what I started to understand? It wasn't about me at all. It was about us. Because it was about me and my wife and my kids and what we actually wanted from our life. So in 2009, I sat with my wife, Anami, and we took a sheet of paper and a bottle of wine. I think it was 2, actually. And we drew a picture. And what we did is we drew a picture about what success meant for us. And in fact, what was on that picture was love, actually. It was a relationship. Because with all this hard work and travel, we were missing romance as a couple. But also, I was not being a good dad. You know, I remember reading bedtime stories to my kids, and I would skip bits because I had stuff to do. And do you know what? If you do that with an 8-year-old kid, they know. They've heard this story countless times, you know. I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to read stories to my kids and go on holidays with them and play Monopoly. And the other thing, of course, that Anami and I wanted was just a place, you know. We'd been living in big cities and apartments and fancy places. We just wanted a little house with a garden somewhere near the forest or the lake where the kids could run and be free. That's how we grew up. Now, the career thing was a bit of a problem because, you know what? I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, I was this big professor, but I hated 80% of my job. I was this international consultant. I was this management guru. I didn't like it, but I wasn't sure at that moment what I wanted to do. My wife, Anami, she wanted to get back to work. And of course, in the bottom right corner of that picture, what was there? There was a little hand-drawn bicycle. Because that fire that I had inside me when I was 9 years old, that fire, it was still burning. I still had this dream. And I discovered this thing called the World Masters Games. Have you heard of it? It's an Olympics for old people like me. It's every 4 years. It's an incredible organization, 23 different sports. In 2009, it was in Sydney. The next one was coming in Torino in 2013. And I said to my wife, I'm going to go. And guys, I don't know if you've ever had that look from your wife, you know, and you know what? I was terrified because what I realized was that picture did not fit with the job I had. So a few days later, I went into that prestigious school and I resigned my job. And that was a terrifying experience because I had to confront fear. Fear that it's all going to go away, the financial security. Fear that I'm going to lose this status, you know, this professor title and all that stuff. But Anami and I said, you know what? That doesn't matter. We will find our way. So what I did is I tried to find that new path. We tried to find a new path. And it was hard. You know, for the first 2 years I was on that path, I was afraid. I earned almost nothing. You know, when I got back on my bicycle and I started to train again, that took time. I fell down, I broke bones. But every single time Anami and I experienced a setback or a heartache, we said, that's the picture. And we kept heading towards it. And on the 8th of August in 2013, I stood on the start line of the World Masters Games in Torino. And I can't tell you how this felt, because I dreamed about this moment since I was 9 years old. And I was not there alone, because in Torino were my 3 beautiful children and the most amazing wife. And as I stood on the start line, getting ready to be marshaled, you know, onto the race, my little girl Hannah pushed her way through the marshals and she came up to me and she took my hand. And I will never, ever forget what she said, because she took my hand and she said, Papa, it's okay if you don't win. And you know what? She was completely right, because being there in Torino was not about winning a bike race. Being there in Torino was about the journey. And you know what? We'd had the courage. We had this belief that we could make something. And at that moment, when my little girl held my hand in Torino, I realized that every single thing that Anami and I had drawn on that picture 4 years before was starting to fall into place. Okay, I was a different person. I was a writer, I was a speaker, I wasn't a professor anymore, but I was a husband. I think I'd become a good dad, and I was a cyclist again. And, oh yeah, the other thing that Hannah said was, watch out for those guys. And you know, I love this picture because have a look at their faces. Those guys are there to win. Look at me. I'm smiling like a monkey, you know, I'm all happy and everything. Because this was just amazing, you know. And that race, you know, that race was 9 laps of an 8-kilometer circuit through Park Valentino, the streets of Turin. It was 9 laps of pain. And every single lap, I looked down and there were 3 little children, and they were screaming. Huh? There was a beautiful Belgian woman wrapped in an Australian flag, and she was cheering me on. And every single time we went around that circuit, we went up Mount Cappuccini. Mount Cappuccini was a 1-kilometer climb with an 18% gradient. And I'd been trained to put my body over that mountain every single day for 4 years. And every single time we went over the mountain, I looked behind me and there were 20 more guys gone. There were 20 more guys gone. And what you see here is 2 laps to go. And you see that guy at the back with the white and the green sleeves? That's me. And at that moment, a crazy thing started to go through my head. I could win. But I didn't win. That was an incredible Czech cyclist. I didn't get second because that was an Italian, but I did come home with a bronze medal. And this is my medal. And, you know, I carry this with me everywhere. But, you know what? And I guess this is the message I want to leave for you. It's fantastic. You know, success is great. And shooting for the moon is great. But out there in the universe, there are a lot of moons. So just make sure that the moon that you are shooting for is your own. Thank you very much.
Okay, any comments, opinions?
Well, it's very important because many things, it's never too late. And if you don't follow your dreams, in sometimes in the future, the dreams will reach you and feel uncomfortable or feel that you do something. It is important. It's important. Obviously, we need to take advice. We need to make sure that we are following up, but it is important to follow the dreams, I think.
Perfect. Thank you. Very well. So yes, that is very important. To think what you really want to do and fight for it, right? Good. Any other comments or opinion on the video? Nobody else's?
What was the appointment that the guy said about Lao Tzu? I lost the appointment.
Oh, I
If
don't
you,
remember. Yeah, but I will share the video on the WhatsApp.
Okay.
Group.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
I think, teacher, that success for me, I think, is like he said, that it's not all about to focus on increase our income, because at some point we find ourselves working overtime and not spending time with our family. I think if we have family, we have to spend time, quality, quality time with them, because the values we transmit to the children, to our parents, and the moment we spend with them may make us happier. So it's important to follow our dreams, but not let that part of our life aside. So we have to get a balance in that. So, because of the working, maybe we don't have time to spend time with them. So at the end, we will realize, sorry, that the money is not all in life, because the life will end and the money doesn't we don't take the money with us when we die. So it's not all about the money. I think also spending quality time with family, with friends, and that's all.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Marcus. Yeah, actually, you are so right. I mean, money is important because of the things that you can get. I mean, health, food, shelter, a nice car, those things are important, but it's not the most important. As you say, at the end, nobody takes anything, right? Everything is going to stay here. So, and you say something very important, a balance. So, yes, important to have a job, to make money, to do many things, but think about your dreams. I mean, what did you wanted to do when you were 15 years old? So you still have time. Of course, you're very busy, but remember that you almost finished the English classes. So what are you going to do in these 2 hours when you finish? I mean, you need to invest time wisely. Of course, spending time with the family, but if you are watching TV every night, yeah, there are very good TV shows, but there are many things that you can do with these 2 hours. So the time is coming. You almost finish this class and then you will have 2 more hours available for you. What you're gonna do, that is up to you, of course. Any other comment or opinion on the video?
Teacher, for example, I think the successful is when you reach your goal in every area in your life. For example, in your professional area, for other or for people, for some people can be have a good job. For other maybe have your own business. Depend your goals, depend your object, your plans, and in the when you reach different goals in every area in your life is when you have a successful. I think that, teacher.
Very well, very interesting. So yeah, that is true. It's not successful in general, right? So there are different areas of your life that you need to pay attention to and then work. I mean, you need to be a good husband or boyfriend or girlfriend. You need to be a good son, a good parent, a good employee, a good English student, whatever you want to do. So that is it. And then focus on that one and make the steps right. Okay, and any other comments or opinion before we finish? Okay, my friends, so this is for you to, first of all, motivate yourself in anything that you may want to do. It's never too late, never, okay? Every day you can learn something different. Every day you can help somebody. Every day you can be a better person, okay? You almost finished the English classes. I motivate you to continue to practice, okay, to be better in English. English is not difficult and you're almost done. Yes, sometimes we need to consider certain things, improve grammar or pronunciation or fluency, work on that one. And of course, whenever you finish all the advanced and you do the certification, I will be proud of you because you have achieved your goal. That took a lot of time, okay? So it's time for us to check the attendance. Let's see how it goes. Ana Claudia González Velázquez.
Present, teacher.
Good. Andrés Giovanni Valdivieso Portillo.
Present.
Good. David Samuel Galdames Monterrosa.
Present, teacher.
Good. Dora Elizabeth Flores Mendez.
Present.
Good. Fernando Ernesto Cosme Morales.
Present.
Good. Fernando Marvin González Martínez.
Present.
Good. Francisco Eduardo Figueroa Mejía.
Present, teacher.
Good. Heidi Eugenia Salguero de Rivas.
Present, teacher.
The 101 of today is for you, Heidi.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Ileana Giselle Cañas Escobar. Jarvin Isaac Guevara Miranda.
Present, teacher.
Good. Jose Marcos Rodríguez Ayala.
Present.
Good. Jose Osmin Rivas Navas. Jose Wilfredo Ayala Sorto.
Present, teacher.
Good. Juan Miguel Bran Mejía. Ramón Enrique Mata Escobar. Roberto Luis Umaña Orellana. Roxana Yvette Asensio de Mejía.
Present.
Good. William Alexander Ramírez Flores. Jessica Janari Cortés Díaz.
I'm here.
Good. Zuleima Ivonne Moreno de Hernández.
Present.
Good. And Erwin Lagos Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Perfect. So my friends, it was a pleasure to be with you tonight. Have a very good night. See you tomorrow and dream in English.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, teacher.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.
Night. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm still a little bit sick.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that one. Yeah, is it the flu or something like that?
It's flu, teacher.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that one.
I got a COVID test and it's negative, so it's just a flu.
Okay. Well, I hope you feel better. So is this the second day, the third day?
This is the third day.
Okay, yeah, you're still bad on that one. So yeah, good thing is that it's coming Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. So probably for Monday you will be all right.
I hope so.
I hope so as well.
I was worried because I got fever a little bit the
Really?
first day. That's why I thought it was COVID, but it wasn't.
Ah, okay, I'm very happy.
I'm
to hear
invictus.
that. Okay, good. That's good. Okay, how
I
was
was
the
going
trip?
to ask the teacher
Uh-huh.
if you recommend any app to practice for the TOEIC test. Do you recommend any special one?
Well, application, I need to research, to be honest with you. I don't know anything that is good for that one. I mean, there are people that they offer the service for you to practice, but I can research. I can research to see what you can do. Anyways, as I was telling you, I'm going to look for. I have 2 cities with those exams for you to test it and check it. So I'm going to look for that one. If it's possible, I'm going to create an image and send it to you. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, nowadays there are many resources. I know that there are some websites that offers you the service. Of course, you have to pay, and I mean, there are different kinds of practices on that one. So whenever, if we are together on the advanced 6, we're gonna work on that a lot. If we're not together, just text me and I'm going to look for that. So you
Okay.
can.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So. Do you have any other question? Anything related to the platform?
No, teacher. Thank you very much for everything.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And how was the trip? Tell me.
Oh, the trip was awesome.
Very
Best
good.
trip ever, you know. You know, Peru is a nice country, very beautiful, but the fact that we were going with our friends made it so special, awesome, unforgettable.
Very good. I'm very happy that you had a very nice experience.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Okay, very good. I would like to check.
Yeah, it's we went to this place called Huacachina, that is a desert,
Okay.
and we made like surfing but on the sand.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Very good. That
It
sounds
was
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures, you'll see.
Very well. Actually, Peru is one of the places that I would like to visit. So I'm planning on that one.
We didn't go to the Machu Picchu. Ana Claudia went to the Machu Picchu.
That is amazing, but I guess it's very tired, right? Because you need to.
Yeah, you need to be in good shape and prepare. I don't know how many days before.
Yeah, it's something that you cannot just take it and that's it.
Yeah, see my gorrito.
Ah, yeah, you can see that one. It's amazing. Good. Okay. So very good that you are you had this experience, and I hope you feel better. I won't take more of your time because I want you to rest.
Okay, teacher.
Perfect.
I
So have a
appreciate all of your help.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Have a good night, and I hope everything goes very well. And drink a lot of water and be careful on that.
Okay, teacher.
Okay,
Take
good
care.
night. So do you. Bye bye.
Bye.